on this Mental Health Monday. I was just like so blown away by this Mental Health Monday for me. I was very purposeful about focusing on my mental health this Monday, and which I am every Monday, especially since I announced that Mondays are officially Mental Health Mondays. But this Mental Health Monday was amazing for me. I was tested, I was tried. Just even from the time I woke up in the morning, and I continue to speak positivity and blessings and favor over my life. And as many times that I was tested on Monday, that's as many times God turned things around for me and allowed things to work out in my favor. So I'm glad God gives me the strength in my mind to rebuke those attacks, because it really worked out for me. I think the more mental health Mondays that I do, the better my mental health is getting, and the better I'm getting at being purposeful about focusing on my mental health on those Mondays. And it kind of spills onto the rest of the week. I have a blessed Tuesday. I have a blessed Wednesday. My Thursdays and Fridays are very blessed. I always enjoy my weekends, even though they are filled with activity, and I'm always busy during the weekends, and I work every weekend. But I just look forward to every single day, and I want to look forward to every single day, and I'm very purposeful about where I am and what I want out of my life on the moment to moment basis. I allow myself to be consumed in gratitude and just being overwhelmed with thankfulness and gratefulness and all of those things as I journey through life. I want to enjoy this experience. I don't want any of my experiences to be unfulfilled or dull or sad or burdened or anything. And I know that we have to deal with life as it comes to us, but if we do a constant work on ourselves, life won't be such a burden. So I am very purposeful about that. Yes, I do a lot on a regular basis. I have a lot on my plate. I love my children dearly. I will stop, drop, and roll at any given moment if any of them reach out to me at any time. And that's what I choose to do. They mean everything to me, and I have responsibilities, and I have a future and big goals that I set for myself. I love being able to relay these messages. I am a caretaker, I am an employee. I just do so much on a regular basis, and I'm still very purposeful about taking care of myself, because if I hadn't, I would not be able to show up and perform on the regular basis the way that I do. I remember me bending over would be such a chore. If whatever activity that I had to do required me to bend over in any way, I would try to avoid it as much as I possibly could, or I would feel it. I felt the sickness in my body. Not only did it affect my back, I had back pain, but it just felt like uneasiness inside of my body. And anytime I had to engage in any activity, whether that was cleaning or doing something around the house, and it made me think about it because I was bending over this morning, looking inside of my closet. I even bent over like looking inside of my closet last night, and it just took me back to that uneasy sickness feeling that I had in my body with just from me having to bend over to do anything. And I was so great. It just makes me so grateful that I don't have that feeling in my body anymore, that I can bend over with such ease, that I can maneuver my body, that I can show up in ways and do things that I need to do on the regular basis. And that all stems from me putting so much work into my body. I don't feel sick in my body anymore. So I have come a long way, even as far as my physical health is concerned. And I am very purposeful about the things that I do for my physical health on the regular basis, as well as my mental health on the regular basis. I am mentally stronger than I have ever been in my entire life. This is why I speak to people on the regular basis, because it requires the work and it's worth every effort. So we have to continue to kind of push forward and push past the uneasiness of it, and it will quickly turn around in your favor. So like, I didn't even realize or remember the time that I just felt that sickness in my body, even from bending over, until just recently when I was just bending over, and I was like, wow, I remember when I couldn't do that with such ease. So these things, nothing that you do would be in vain when you're doing anything to improve your mind, your body, your spirit, gaining a closer connection with God. Sometimes we can prioritize other things, and I have to go to work and I have to show up for different people and do different things, when in our reality, the most beneficial thing that we can do is show up for ourselves. So that's what my week has been like thus far. I have had an amazing week. I am full of activity. I am prioritizing myself. I am giving of myself, and the favor of God is over my life. I am grateful and I am very blessed. But anyway, hola, bonjour, konnichiwa, and hello in every language to every person everywhere. Greetings. I greet you. This is the season of love, and today I extend to you the warmest greetings from my heart to yours. So it doesn't matter what part of the world you are in. I do realize that my audience is growing, and people in different languages in different parts of the world. I want you to know that you are welcome here. I know that there are many more languages to say hello in than the few that I chose to say hello in today, but I want everyone to know that they are welcome to this safe space to learn and to grow. You are welcome here. So my name is Sakara Bay. I am a motivational speaker and an author. To those of you who are not familiar with me, and I welcome you all to this week's life lesson. So of course, before we get started, I like to take a moment of silent gratitude, is what I call it. We may express gratitude in different ways in different places of worship. You might even run through your house screaming hallelujah. I don't know how you choose to express gratitude, or you might wait until you go to whatever your place of worship is and verbally express gratitude. But for now, I want us to be able to quietly express silent gratitude internally and gain a connection with our higher being. You might feel it over you when you are silently just whispering words of gratitude in your mind, or saying whatever it is that you choose to say to express gratitude. And I believe that expressing gratitude is very important for our well-being. Without me gaining the importance of expressing gratitude over the years, I would have not have made it this far in my life. In my hardest of times, I expressed gratitude. I remember being at my mother's funeral, and I was just full of so much shout and praise while Pastor Waller was up there preaching my mother's funeral, and I just wanted to scream all the way to the heavens, hallelujah, while her body was laying out there in front of me. And I remember being in the middle of a divorce and things not working out with my marriage, and I was so full of praise. I showed up at my chosen place of worship faithfully, and I was so full of praise. I screamed and hollered with tears coming down my face, because you can take everything away from me. You can take my mother, you can take my father, you can take my husband, you can take my material things, you can take my home, my car, my shoes, my clothes, but I need my praise. I need my praise. My praise helps me get through. So it is so important that we learn how to express gratitude. I would not be sitting here before you if I did not have the right to praise. I know in certain parts of the world, in different countries, you will get slaughtered for praising. They don't want you to be able to choose who you decide to worship or praise. So I have the rights to express gratitude in the ways that I choose to express gratitude, and so do you. And I think we should take advantage of that opportunity. There are so many reasons why we should allow ourselves to be consumed in gratitude on a regular basis. When you wake up at night, if you don't pray for anything, once you lay your head down, when you wake up in the morning, once you lay your head down at night, if you don't say anything, I strongly encourage you to just whisper words of gratitude. God hears you. God feels you. It is reciprocated. You feel God, and you just have an emotion all over you like no other when you allow yourself to be consumed in gratitude. That is personally how I feel about gratitude. It is a very strong and valuable emotion to me. I use it in my everyday life. It helps me get through, and I encourage you to be able to allow yourself to consume yourself in gratitude as well. You will find yourself being able to get through certain situations like never before. So here we go. Just a few seconds. Close your eyes. You don't have to. Take a few deep breaths and just be grateful in these moments. So here we go. I really hope that someone out there chose to join in with me in those moments of gratitude. Like I said, that is very, very valuable for us. We are blessed more when we are grateful on the regular basis. So are you guys ready for today's topic? I prayed. I asked God. Sometimes I am very proactive in coming up with these lessons, and I search and I seek and I find. When you look for something, you will always find it. But this week's lesson, I was totally oblivious to what God wanted me to deliver to you guys. I just did not know. I'm like, I know that there was something that you want me to speak to your people, and it was like literally right up to the last minute. But let me just say this, it was the last minute when I received the word that God wanted me to express to you all today. And even though I did not know what God wanted me to deliver today, I still trusted God that He would give me a word to deliver. So God answered quickly. And I love that. That's the part that I love about having a connection with my higher power. Sometimes God answers me quickly, and sometimes God does not answer me quickly. But in this case, when I prayed over what God wanted me to deliver to you, and I closed my eyes and I seek wisdom from my higher being, God breathed into my spirit awareness. So today I want to talk about self-awareness. So wherever this may meet you, I'm telling you, God told me that someone needs to be more aware. So, and I was going to kind of talk about awareness and kind of generalize it, just talking about being aware of different things. But I chose to personalize it and make this message about self-awareness, because that's the best way that we are going to have a positive impact on ourselves and on everyone around us. So I want us to be effective, and I want us to be effective quickly. So I really want to deliver something to you that I know is going to help you. In our microwave society, we want it fast, we want it right, and we want it now. So that's how I want to give it to you. I want to be able to give you something that you can use that is going to help you, and is going to help you now. I am on your side with this. So I'm always on your side, to be honest. But I really feel like a lot of my messages are solely pointed back towards us, because there are so many things that we need to focus on within ourselves that we are not focusing on the regular basis. And I believe self-awareness is one of those things. If were more aware, we would be more effective in our everyday lives on whatever that we want for ourselves, and progressing in any way. So here we go. Today's topic, like I said, self-awareness. Yes, self-awareness, the ability to take an honest look at yourself. It allows us to it also allows us to recognize and understand ourselves. So taking an honest look at yourself, understand yourself, recognize yourself. Sometimes we can recognize things in other people, and we can hate other people for different things, but the same things that we hate other people for, we have some of those same qualities within ourselves. So if you hate that person, then you hate yourself too. So I mean, listen, I'm just going to be bold and honest. And you already know that I don't hold back too much, especially when I am teaching, because I want my teachings to be effective. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you or sugarcoat it and make it seem like that it is something that we are not. But a lot of times we can be judgmental towards other people, and we can point out flaws in other people when we are not really focusing on pointing out the flaw. You might have the same identical flaws and within yourself, but you don't see it coming from you. You only see it coming from other people. But just as it does not look good on another person from the outside looking in, you are recognizing these flaws in other people. It don't look good on you either. So we have to recognize these flaws and things within ourselves, so we can correct ourselves, so we can fix ourselves, so we can kind of patch up the dirty work. Listen, we are not perfect. We are human. Perfect and human have two different meanings. Human beings are not perfect. This is a growing process. This is a learning process. We are going to make so many mistakes, but we don't want to carry these mistakes on with us, and we definitely don't want to continue to make some of the same mistakes over and over and over again. We want to kind of clean some of this stuff up and move it out our way so we can move forward with our life. Come on. We are talking about self-awareness today, about taking a good look at yourself, because other people going to be quick to point your flaws out to you, but they might have some of those same flaws, or maybe even worse in all reality. So that's what it is. That is what it is. The ability to take an honest look at yourself. Be true to yourself. Shakespeare, I believe it was Shakespeare that said it, to thine own self be true. And that was one of the truest things that he ever said. You have to be true to yourself. The worst thing that you can do is to not be honest with your own self, because then you are just living a life full of lies, a unfulfilling life full of someone that you are pretending to be. So that's no fun. Like, who wants to do that? You want to live in your pureness, in your oneness, in your wholeness, in your authentic self. You want to enjoy it, whether people like it or not. We should always choose to be who we really are and who God created us to be. So I don't want to move too far ahead of myself, but I did a serious study on this last night. I mean, I studied for a long time last night, and I think I studied longer than I have ever studied before on self-awareness, and some things I just wanted for my personal growth. That, of course, everything doesn't make it to my lesson, but I just went over some things that I felt as though was really valuable, that resonated with me, that I would be hopefully able to hold on to in my spirit and express these things over to you guys with clarity. I study a lot anyway. I just study almost every single day. I just put things into my mind. I read, I study, I learn, I listen to things educational. I'm telling you, when you educate yourself, that is like no other. I'm not trying to say anything against anybody with degrees or universities or schools or colleges or anything like that, but there's nothing like educating yourself about beating these things into your own brain and understanding it on a level what that you know that you can understand. These things carry me a long way. I'm growing more. I felt like in the years I felt like was wasted, I felt like I lost so much with my drug addiction, with being married to the wrong person for over 10 years, with me having to heal from childhood trauma, for me having to try to learn how to love myself and all of those type of things. But with self-education and with me rediscovering who I really am, I am shooting straight up, because I am allowing myself to be open to live and to learn and to study and to grow. And I am discovering a part of myself that I did not even know existed. I don't need validation. I don't need permission from anyone. I am just doing it, and it is very beneficial and it works for me. So I suggest that to anyone. I love to read. I just got done a novel that I am just still processing in my mind. It was an amazing novel, but I like reading educational books too. I'm reading a book now that someone bought me for Christmas, which is a really amazing book. But I love reading self-help books. Hence, I am the author, and I write self-help books. And I love reading financial literacy or anything self-development, anything that is going to feed my brain. I love listening to audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks almost every single day. I listen to lectures every single day, and it helps me grow. It's a whole nother world outside from where I came from to where I am now, and it's like I'm living in a whole brand new world, and this is wonderful for me. So I do encourage you to take time out to educate yourself in whatever way that might mean to you. It might work for you. You might be able to teach your grandchildren or your children. Listen, I got gray hairs. I don't have grandchildren yet, but I'm almost at the grandparent stage, and I'm getting up there in age, and I'm just really mindful about my life and what I do on the regular basis, even the impact that I have on my children. I have a almost 11-year-old. Oh my goodness, my son gonna be 11 next month. My little teeny baby. He's not a baby no more. He don't like when we treat him like a baby. He think he grown. But anyway, yes, recognizing and understanding yourself. 95% of people think they are self-aware, but in reality, only 10% are truly aware of themselves. Yeah. Yeah, so we walk around here thinking that we are self-aware, and I do not make up these facts. I studied these facts during my research, and it literally says 95% of people think that they are self-aware, when in all reality, only 10%. I hope to be in that 10% number. I don't know. If I'm not all the way in there, I hope I'm working my way closer towards being in that 10% of people who are truly aware of themselves. So self-awareness is the beginning of the life you want, the life that you want for yourself. The world would be a better place if everyone were more aware of themselves and how their own actions affects one another and their own lives. So we out here doing stuff, and A lot of people don't care. Granted, a lot of people just don't care about how their actions affects one another, but push that part to the side for now. The things that how the things that you do, how much of an impact that it has on other people. We out here doing stuff to ourselves and not even realizing the major impact that our actions are having even on ourselves. Listen, we got it so twisted and so messed up, and we think that we have the answers because we are relying on whatever, I don't know, things that you learned, things in your family, what you tried before in your past, and we are holding on to our stubborn ways. We are not being open to learning and trying new things and different techniques and learning different people. We wasn't successful in our first marriage, not successful. You on your second divorce, you on your third marriage, thinking your third marriage is going to be better than your first and your second marriage, when this is three different people and you're different. So like we just not we are not being very mindful of how our actions affect other people and ourselves. This is what awareness is. This is what awareness is, because we can make some people jump off a freaking bridge and you don't even know, by your lack of whatever communication and not telling a person that you love them, or not even communicating in the right way. We can have a devastating effect on someone else's mental health or depression or where they are, or in it can really be your fault why certain people are in the state that they are in, and not totally your fault. But if you were better, even to yourselves and to them, then it would be a much better impact. The impact would not be so devastating. So we got to think about that. We have to be aware of how our actions affect other people, and it affects ourselves. Because if we are aware, say if you just totally knew how what you were saying or what you were doing was truly affecting the other person, or even your neglect or the things that you are not doing might be emotionally devastating to someone that you truly love, and they are not expressing these things to you. But just imagine, maybe even if it was done to you, but if you really knew how your actions was affecting another person, would you kind of change the way that you were doing it? Will you get a little better at being a person? Like just being a person, period, for yourself and for the sake of other people. This could be people that you truly love. This could be your spouse. This could be your children. This could be your parents. Kids can be so harsh to their parents sometimes. I had to tell my daughter, I had to cuss her out. You want to call my phone? You taking me to the hair store? Girl, click. If you're not going to say hi, mom, or how you doing, don't call my phone talking about, am I taking you to the hair store? You ain't even say hi. Like, you don't know what kind of day I'm having or anything. And then we had to kind of lay down law with that, because this could be having the way that other people are with us could be having a very harmful and devastating effect to us. And we don't express it, then they may not know it, recognize it, or realize it, or even do anything about it. I'm telling you, self-awareness is huge. And I'm talking about your actions, the things that you do on the regular basis to affect yourself and affect other people, the world around you as you know it, or is impacted every day by the things that you do on the regular basis, in ways that you probably don't even recognize and realize that you are having these impacts on yourself and other people. Let's talk about ourselves. Come on, let's talk about ourselves, because we are doing things to have an impact on ourselves that can be devastating. That can be really devastating. Yes, I am a very health conscious person. I am very health conscious, and I don't do half the things that I used to do that were very harmful to my body. I was looking at a video that I uploaded on YouTube. It might have been maybe about a year ago. And I have cleaned up my eating habits so much so since then. There's a lot of things that I don't eat anymore. I don't eat cheese because the effect that it was having on my body. Any kind of dairy product, I don't put those things in my body anymore. And when that video flashed from about a year ago on my YouTube channel, when I looked at it, and then I looked at my face opposed to then and now, kind of did a then and now reflection on myself, and my face was so puffed up. Sometimes you could tell a person's body is struggling just by their face and their eyes. It really indicates the struggling that is going on inside of your body, your organs, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, and all those things can be having a very difficult time with functioning on a regular basis. And you can see it by looking into a person's face. So even the way that my face is structured now compared to how it was even 1 year ago, I look so much healthier now in my face because I don't put certain things into my body. And I'm using this one thing for example because I was doing things, regular things, eating cheese, making a sandwich, putting cheese on it or whatever, that was having an impact on me. I didn't even realize. I had to kind of like this, just trial and error. I had to kind of like put two and two together. Every time I put dairy products in my body, I would have like these big rockets, pus bumps like exploding out of my face, and I was like, I can't have dairy. And if this is what my body is showing me, is trying to escape these impurities every time I put it in my body. It's trying to find a release and come out in some way. Just imagine what it's doing internally. My body does not like this. So I can't have dairy. I just can't have it. And I chose, I could still be eating dairy and just deal with the impact that I know that it is having on my life. And a lot of times we choose to do the thing that we know is not good for us. And that's on you. Like, listen, I'm just the messenger. I'm not here to beat you down with anything. But a lot of times we make the unwise decision. It's not very wise to continue to do things that is harmful to us. So if you want to see a change in the way, your body functions on a regular basis, you are going to begin to do certain things or stop doing certain things because you are aware of the impact that these things are having on your life. These are things, everything that I talk to you about on a regular basis are things that you have the power to change. That's why I said self-awareness, because that means you can do something about it. Sometimes we kind of look in outside sources to help us over the hump when you can help yourself over the hump. So the world would be a better place if everyone were more aware of themselves and how their awareness affects one another and their own lives. So I read that already. The world would be a much better place if we were more aware of our own actions. I'm glad I read that again, because the entire world would be a better place if we learn how to be more aware. When you know something, when you are aware of it, it has an impact on how you react to it, how you perceive it, what you do about it, the things that you do. Awareness changes things. I'm so glad that God put this in my spirit to talk about awareness today. So awareness is having knowledge of something, and with knowledge, we have the power to control it. There you go. I wrote it down. I'm so glad that I wrote that down. With knowledge, they say knowledge is power. With knowledge comes the power to control your situation. So if you are not aware of something, how are you even going to acknowledge it? You are not even going to acknowledge the fact that it is an issue, it is a problem, it needs some attention or anything. You're not going to acknowledge it on any level if you were not being aware of it. We have to acknowledge these things so we can do something about it. The things that we do to impact ourselves, whether it be mentally, you might be an overspender and you wondering why you always broke because you keep spending all your money. You have to be aware of the things that you are doing to have an impact on your own life. So let your guard down. Yeah, I know that's scary. We don't want to let our guard down. We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to trust people. And I've been hurt too many times. And you don't know what I had to go through. And it was my own family. It was my own family too. Trust me. I know what it feels like to be devastatingly hurt by those who are supposed to love you the most. And I still allow myself to be vulnerable today. I still allow myself to let down my guard because I don't want to walk around with a shield over me, worrying about who's going to hurt me next. I know that there are people out here with wicked motives, and I don't worry about those people. The majority of the people that I allow myself to be associated with on the regular basis are very kind to me. I just had a conversation on the phone with a group of guys that I have become very close with over the past years. And out of some of those guys, a few of them I trust more than I have trusted anyone in my entire life. Some people never knew anybody that they can trust on earth. I'm not talking about your heavenly Father that you can trust to that extent. And I had to express to one of these gentlemen that nobody that I ever knew showed me as much loyalty. I'm peeping him even when he don't know I'm peeping him. I never knew someone with so much loyalty in my entire life. I'm like, you gang at this point. Like you just don't come across people like that. You don't. And when you do, those are the people that you choose to stick with. Now just say that I wouldn't allow myself to be vulnerable into coming into a connection and building a relationship with that person. I would have missed out on that. I would have missed the opportunity to gain a relationship with a person that I have never, in my almost 44 years, I have never seen that type of loyalty radiate from any other human being. I would have missed out on that relationship if I hadn't allowed myself to be vulnerable and allow certain different people in my life. So these are the type of people that I associate myself with on a regular basis. And that's because of the decisions that I make for myself. I am open with the hurt that has been done to me. I still allow myself to be open and vulnerable. If this person would show me anything outside of loyalty, which I doubt that he ever will, that would be totally outside of his character. I mean, you would literally have to be holding a pistol to this man's temple for him to step outside of his loyalty. And even then, I don't even see him doing it then. Who knows somebody like that? Because that just like, and I hope he watched this video because it makes me emotional, brings tears to my eyes to even be able to say, I know somebody with that level of loyalty. And it comes from me allowing myself to let my guard down and be vulnerable. So that's the type of people that I choose to associate myself with. And most of the people that I associate myself with on the regular basis are very loyal people. He is the most loyal person that I know. But aside from even the people in my own bloodline are not as loyal to me as the people that I have gained relationships with in these past years. So I'm grateful for my new life. And I'm grateful to be able to let my guard down and to learn how to trust people. So people who are not self-aware are afraid to be vulnerable because you're not aware of yourself. And I'm not afraid to be vulnerable because I want to be more self aware. They are worried they will be judged or rejected if they allow themselves to be vulnerable. So who cares? Sometimes we put way too much emphasis on how other people think about us and what they got to say and all that kind of stuff. And what other people have to say about you ain't paying your bills. It's this oh man, I wish I knew the artist and the name of this song, but it comes on my hits when I'm listening to my songs sometimes, and it goes, "Worrying about me ain't never made you no money." Worry about me ain't never made you no money. And it's true, because we put so much emphasis on other people's opinions on us, and sometimes we act according to how other people are going to think about us. We set ourselves aside and we don't do what's truly in our hearts for us to do, because we are so worried about other people's opinions on us. So rejection and being judged, you is no way of getting around that. People are going to judge you, and you are going to be rejected from time to time. And in all reality, you should still allow yourself to be more aware of yourself. Having a lack of self-awareness can have a major negative impact on your life. So we have to take all of these things into consideration. So without self-awareness, there's a lack of personal growth. Growth and elevation means everything to me. If you are not growing and you are not elevating, then what are you doing? You are not living, you are just existing. Your life is just stagnant. It's the same thing all the time. I never want to catch myself being that person who is living a very stagnated life. I want to be able to move forward, to elevate, to grow. Sometimes the growth seems non-existent, or it seems so slow, and then sometimes you just notice the growth like out of nowhere. Like, wow, I had to look at myself one day like, who is this person? Like, I didn't even recognize myself. And I made the decision in my mind to continue to be persistent and continue to push forward and move forward and continue to do the things that I do for myself on a regular basis, even when it seemed like it wasn't making much of a difference. But when I turned around and looked at it, where I came from was like right here, and where I am right now was like right here. And I was like, wow, yeah. Like, look at me. Like, I have made such a significant amount of growth within myself over the years, and it makes me so proud of me. It makes me very proud of myself. And that's what life is about, because to be totally transparent with you, if you are not living, growing, or elevating, you are doing the opposite, which is dying. You are just sitting there wasting away and looking forward to your ultimate demise. We all have to die one day, but who wants to die in a way where they have never lived? Do you even want to live before you die? And I'm not just talking about being alive. I'm talking about living. Talking about living. So, ask yourself this. How do I see myself? How do you view your own self? When you look at yourself, what kind of person do you perceive yourself to be? How do I view myself? That's a good question to be able to ask yourself. If you never thought about that before, then you should probably consider thinking about it now. How do I view myself? Take a true honest look at yourself and answer that question. What kind of person am I? Am I kind-hearted? Am I loving? Am I giving? Am I evil, mean, deceitful, selfish? Do I have impure motives, hidden motives? Do I not like a lot of qualities within myself? Do I want to change a whole lot more qualities in myself? Am I a liar? Do I just lie about everything? Can I be trusted to tell the truth or even to do the thing things that I say that I am going to do? Am I not only lying to other people and proving myself to not be a very reliable person? Am I lying to myself? Because I can fool myself into thinking that I'm making progress with my life and doing all of these things, and I can sit in the same hole that I have dug for myself for year after year and continuing to lie to myself just to try to mask who I really am, or try to make myself look good or different, or put on a show, or fake it till you make it, or whatever. And in all reality, I ain't going nowhere and I ain't doing nothing, because all I'm doing is lying to myself, or keep talking about what I used to be, or what I used to do, or what I used to have. You don't have that anymore. Like, it's a whole brand new day. So, yeah, ask yourself, how do I see myself? Be curious about yourself. You don't know everything about yourself. When you understand yourself, you understand people more. So be curious about who you are. Don't be afraid to ask yourself questions about who you really are. And we don't live on this planet by ourselves. So we want to be able to understand ourselves more, and we want to be able to understand other people more. We want to be able to understand our loved ones. We want to be able to understand our mates and people that we come in close connection with. Some of us so badly want to be in a relationship with have a partner. There's nothing wrong with that. Wanting a partner, husband, wife, whatever, someone that you can share your life with, your goals, your dreams. You can laugh with them, talk to them, talk about your day and all of those type of things. But in all reality, you are not in a place personally where you are even able to effectively share your life with another person. You are just not in a good place. You are not aware of yourself. You get with that person, y'all chilling, eating popcorn, watching Netflix. Next thing you know, y'all snapping, the popcorn is upside down, y'all fighting. You got issues that you ain't even dealt with and all of that type of stuff. You are not even aware of some of your own issues, and it's having a devastating effect on the relationships that you have with people on the regular basis. It is so important that we work on ourselves and that we fix ourselves before we even begin to try to have these different relationships with different people. We have to learn how to be aware of ourselves and aware of our personal issues. You may have issues within yourself that you don't even realize that you have. You may not be confident in the way that you look, or whatever. You might have to learn how to love yourself more, have more self-acceptance. Accept yourself for who you are, the way that God created you, or whatever. And you are a blessing to this earth, even in the form that God presented to you to this earth. And I know that, and I can say that about you. But are you able to say that about yourself? A lot of people are not comfortable with themselves. So how are you going to be comfortable with somebody else? How are you going to wake up and tell somebody that they are beautiful and that you love them every single day if you can't say that to yourself? I constantly tell myself how beautiful I am. And I don't only think that I am beautiful on the outside. I am cute though. Like, I do think I'm beautiful on the outside, but I think I am beautiful internally too. I think I have a beautiful spirit. I think I'm I think my beauty, I know my beauty. I'm so convinced you cannot tell me that it does not. My beauty radiates from the inside of me, and it spews out of me. Like, and people recognize that on the regular basis. So yeah, we have to learn how. So when we understand ourselves, we can understand other people more, and it has a direct impact on our relationships that we have on the regular basis. So ask yourself this: Why am I the way that I am? Do you know, have you, when last time you did like evaluation on yourself? Why am I the way that I am? You might be dealing with certain issues and things that you have to battle with within yourself on the regular basis, and you probably don't even know why you that way. Like, what is wrong with me? I heard somebody ask themselves that question before, and now that I think about it, it probably was with all sincerity. Like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. They kept making the same mistakes over and over again. The mistakes that they were making were having a devastating effect on their life, and they continue to do the same things over and over and over again, and they ask themselves, what is wrong with me? And it probably was and still is issues within not only that person that I'm thinking about right now, but even me, you, all of us, is probably issues within us that we have to cater to. We have to go get down to those issues and figure out, why am I the way that I am? We have to evaluate ourselves and kind of dissect ourselves, pick it apart, and get down to it. And once you do it, it's done. Okay, I'm not telling you to like do this and do it every single day. And no, nobody wants to dwell on the negative things about themselves, and it hurts, and it's not easy to kind of dig up these old emotions and traumas and things that might have happened to you and all of those type of things. But you probably have buried, they probably been buried for so long. And once you get these things out the mud, out the dirt, wash them off, clean it off, and really look at it for what it is and say, I didn't deserve that. I had to say that to myself. The things that happened to me as a child, I did not deserve that. What child does? What can a 5-year-old do to deserve to be abused in any kind of way? Like, you're 5. Like, no one deserves that. Sometimes we think it is us, and what, you should have never been born. I'm not going to think that way about myself because people chose to abuse me. I know that I was created and brought here on this earth for a purpose and for a reason. I know that there is purpose behind my life, and I know that it is none of my own doing that I was abused in the ways that I was abused as a child. I just did not deserve that. So I had to dig those things up, clean it off, and release it and let it go, because it wasn't my fault and I didn't deserve it. It wasn't my fault and I didn't deserve it. It wasn't your fault and you didn't deserve it. People do things to other people so often. I'm telling you, people hurt each other, and some people are hurt. Hurt people hurts people. It's true. And you probably have not deserved half the things that other people have done to you. But yet and still, you are carrying around the burdens of it. It's making you angry. It's making you bitter. It's having an effect on your life, on your overall success, on your health. You are overeating. You don't care about yourself. You are not practicing self-care. You don't care about your future. You don't care about the things that you do. Some of us are walking around with pistols on our hips and walking around shooting each other. We doing drugs, we taking drugs, we selling drugs, we indulging in alcohol, we getting drunk, we having sex with anybody just so you can get a good morning text message. I'm not saying you just belittling yourself and belittling your standards just so you can get some kind of attention that you seek from others and validation and all of that kind of stuff. I ain't doing none of that. I'm not doing any of that. Like, I'm getting ready to celebrate 5 years of abstinence, and I'm not having sex like with the way that the world is today. I'm not falling into these social norms where everybody tooting something and booting something and all that kind of stuff just so they can be accepted in how the world is today. No. When and if I do choose to start having sex again, it's going to be on my own terms, when I am ready, with who I am ready to do it with, and I'm not going to do it because everybody tooting something. I ain't tooting nothing until I feel like it. Y'all gonna have to go ahead with all that. But we're not comfortable with with ourselves. We don't know who we are, where these issues come from, and we are seeking validation in so many different areas of our life, and it's having a devastating effect on us mentally too. Now you're living your life with regrets, and we should learn from the mistakes that we made in the past and not continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. That is insane. That is completely insane. So self-awareness is associated with emotional well-being, increased confidence, better mental health, improved communication skills, as well as our overall happiness and success. These are things that will help benefit us, our lives as we know it, if we know how to be more aware of ourselves and our actions. We will live a overall better life, our emotional well-being. Sometimes our emotions can just run rapid, or just run while you just a mess emotionally, and you can't even get yourself together. Something happened 2 days ago that you are still emotionally distraught about, that you should have been got over 5 seconds after it even happened. Like, okay, that's what you're doing. That you do you, while I'm gonna be over here doing me. Stop letting people get y'all all bent out of shape. We let other people have control over our moment to moment emotions and how we feel on the regular basis. I'm going to let you be great, because how can I make time to do the things that I really want to do in my life and for myself and for my children, my finances, my future, my family, if I'm emotionally devastated because you want to get on my nerves? No, I don't have time for that. We got too much to do, and you are putting the important things on hold because you let people get you. Listen, stop letting people get y'all bent out of shape. And I'm human, and it happens to me too. Like, I am getting better at controlling my emotions on the regular basis. I don't have to show anyone or tell anyone how angry I am or nothing, how much they piss me off, the things that they are doing, and all of that kind of stuff. I just go ahead and let you do whatever you think you big and bad enough to do, and let you deal with it. Because what goes around comes around. It's the inevitable laws of nature. What goes up must come down. I don't want to be the person that's going to have to deal with karma when karma starts dishing itself out, because a lot of people are dealing with karma now and are going to have to do. I don't even think we take that into consideration either. Like the things that we do, how it is going to come back on us. So I don't want to be that person. I think I suffer enough. That's why I choose to not treat people in ways that I don't want to be treated in. And that includes the people that do things to me on the regular basis. Either I don't associate with them at all, or I still choose to bring out the best part of me. I want to be kind. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. I want to be loved. I do not want these do not want these negative things to have a devastating effect on my overall life as I know it, because of the issues that other people carry around with themselves. Your issues ain't got nothing to do with me. I can talk to you, I can counsel you, I can help you, I can inspire you, I can motivate you, but I am not going to allow other people's issues to spill off on me. I worked too hard and I came too far, and I still have ways to go, and people still choose to do ignorant things to me on a regular basis, and I still let those things slide. When you are ready to act like a person, then you can come talk to me. But as long as you want to be ignorant, you stay over there and I'm going to stay over here. I choose to not let other people's issues have an effect on my life today. Even with me doing the work that I am doing right now. I care about people and their situations, but I can't care about you more than you care about your own self. It is ultimately up to you whether you are going to take heed to some of these things that I'm saying to you or not. It's your choice. Whether you do or don't is not going to have a impact on me, because I not only tell you these things, I apply every single thing that I teach on the regular basis. I apply these things to my life, or incorporate these things to my life in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or try to allow these things to become normal, my normal way of living now, because I know the impact that they have on my life or have had. I live these things, I experience these things. So improve communication skills is one way that being more self-aware is going to have a impact on our communication skills when we do not communicate very well. So pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your feelings. Journal. Get it out of your head and visualize your thoughts. I have so many journals, so many books that I have written in. I write books and I just study and write things all the time, but I don't just like journal on the regular basis as much as I should. But I came across this. I wasn't even going to write it down, but I came across this so many times during my study, and a close friend of mine asked me, did I journal? And I told him probably not as much as he does, but he said that's a powerful tool that he uses in his everyday life, that he journals. But journaling is a very effective way to become more aware of yourself, because now you're getting these things out of your mind, you are writing them down, and you are looking at it, and that makes you want to do something about it even more. So don't deny yourself that. If you do not have a journal, go out, get you a dollar, go to Dollar Tree, which is a $1.25 tree now where I am anyway, and go spend you a $1.25 on a journal or a book or a composition book or whatever, and just start writing down some of your emotions and some of your feelings. Or even, you don't even have to go back 10 or 15 years ago to your divorce or none of that. You can just write down how you are feeling right now and why. And I know it's very difficult. I don't even want to say this, because I don't want it to be difficult for men to express their emotions. I want men to normalize expressing their emotions. I don't think men realize how valuable they are to us. Y'all are so important to us. We want you to live. We want you to live long lives. We are tired of being widows. We are tired of burying our husbands. So often men go before women because they take in all the stress and agony and the pressures of life. They have their heart attack rate is higher for men than it is for women. When men have heart attacks way more often than women do, because they they impress their emotions, they hold in their emotions, and they suppress. That's what I meant to say. They suppress their emotions, they hold these things in, they don't want to talk about it so often. And even if you don't get in the habit of talking about your emotions to other people, you can get you a handy dandy journal, even if you put a little lock on it and lock it up, because you don't want everybody to know what you are expressing in your journal. You can lock it and put it in a safe where nobody can ever read it, but you are still getting these emotions outside of you. It's like it's going to feel like you're throwing up. Like, get it out of you and put it down on a piece of paper so you won't have to carry these things around with you so much. So figure out who you are. Awareness. Who are you? Figure out yourself and figure out who you are. I remember when I was in a relationship and the person was like, you're not going to try to figure out what's wrong with me. You don't even know what's wrong with me and why I'm going through some of the things that I'm going through. And I looked at that person like he had three heads. I was like, How could you even expect me to figure out what's wrong with you? And I'm just trying to figure out what's wrong with myself. Like, you have to be crazy. Okay, so now I done figured out what's wrong with you. So now I gotta start fixing you? So who gonna fix me? Like, no, nobody should expect another person to figure out what's wrong with them. You figure out what's wrong with you. And then when you figure out what's wrong with you, if you want to express to you why you have been acting in some of the ways that you have been acting, or whatever you want to express to another human being, your spouse, your mate, your loved one, I'm trying to get down to the source of my issues so I can be a better husband, better wife, whatever, better partner. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with myself. That's no one else's responsibility. And I don't think anyone should ever expect anyone else to figure out what's wrong with them. Because then what? Then what? Like, no. That's not fair to the other person. And that's not very beneficial to you either. Because then what you gonna do? Sit around and wait for the other person to fix you, when you could be fixing yourself. You could be getting down to the source of your own issues, and you can start working on those things. So figure out what's wrong with you. Like, just figure yourself out. Self-reflection. Do moments of self-reflection constantly. Reflect back on yourself. Look at yourself. Evaluate yourself. All of those type of things is going to help you. And I know it's probably hard to even hear a person saying those things because we don't want to. We done got comfortable in our comfort zone. We're putting these issues, sweeping them under the rug and sitting them in a corner and acting like they don't exist until the next time we explode. And we know that we are exploding because we have these issues that we never pay any attention to. And that's not going to help you to continue to sweep your issues under the rug. And it's not going to be easy, but if you want more out of your life as you know it, if you want more fulfillment and enjoyment and peace out of your life, you are going to sweep that dust from under your rug, one dust particle at a time, and you are going to dispose of those things so they won't continue to have this negative effect on your life. It is necessary. I cannot say that enough. So do a self-reflection on yourself. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses, and be very mindful of them. Associate with people more. Associate with people more and less virtual time. So stop texting so much. We are like texting machines nowadays. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Meet somebody for lunch. Meet somebody face to face. Talk to them in person, because this is what's going to happen when we communicate in person opposed to virtual social media. You inboxing me, and I know you through social media, whatever. When we associate personally with individuals, we are more aware of ourselves. We discover more about ourselves, about our flaws, about our qualities, about things that we can and can't do. Somebody might ask you a question that's like totally out the blue that you never expected them to. Someone did that to me. I was like hanging out with a friend and just talking and chilling, and he was like, he knows that I'm a writer and all this type of stuff, and he asked me to like make up a poem right off the top of my head. And I think he was like, well, what would you label your poem or label your life? And he just had my brain just like all over the place. And it made me realize certain things about myself, what type of thinker that I am, what things that I need to modify in myself, what makes me happy, what doesn't make me happy, what's my view on life, what's heavy on me, what's light on me. By me having that had one-to-one conversation with the person who likes to pick my brain. And then it brought out so much inside of me. And then I wrote like 5 poems since then. And I'm just like a little Maya Angelou over here. I was like, wow, I did not even know that I had that inside of me. Now, at the end of my books, I do have poems at the end of my books, but those were things that I took my time out to just like kind of create those poems and incorporate them in my books. So at the end of each book is a poem that is the name of the second sequel. So True Value, Knowing Your Worth has a poem at the end of it called Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures. And that's the name of my second book, is called Walking Treasure. So Walking Treasure has a poem at the end of it called Feed Your Soul, and that's the name of my third book. So Feed Your Soul has a poem at the end of it called Religiously. So that's how I did the poems in my book. And then when he asked me about poems or labeling life or something like that, I didn't even really think about the poems that I wrote in my book. I was just like really trying to find my creativeness in that impromptu moment and see, kind of discover myself in that moment. And I was like, wow. And I was like, I don't want to I had really had to calm myself down. I don't want to lose myself in trying to discover myself, but it does bring out self-awareness when you communicate with people one-on-one. They might ask you questions, something might happen, I don't know, that really makes you discover who you are. So sometimes we hide behind text messages, we hide behind social media and those oh my goodness, I hate those things. Avatar. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people out there created their avatar. That is something that I never did, and probably something that I would never do. The cartoon creation of you, and some people use their avatar version all the time. But I don't want to normalize the virtual version of me. I want to be authentically who I am, and this is the me that I want to present myself to the world. I don't want to hide behind virtual reality, social media, gaming, text messaging, and all of those type things. I like it more when people call me and I have conversations on the phone with people. And I like it more when I spend one-on-one time with people and I have conversations and I bring out some of the things that is inside of me. I discover more about myself when I'm having more of these personal conversations. I better myself. I learn how to communicate more. I talk less. I listen more. I learn more. I teach more. It makes me a better person when I learn how to communicate more person to person opposed to hiding behind virtual reality. So I did discover this fact during my study on self-awareness, and then it made me reflect back on how do I associate myself with communicating more person to person. And it does allow me to bring out a better me. I like it more when I communicate person to person, even hearing someone else's voice, someone else hearing my voice, me playing around with my voice a little bit more. I know I'm always like nasally toned because of my allergies, but I still want my voice to sound attractive at times. I want people to hear what I'm saying opposed to hearing how nasally I sound and all of those type of things. It just makes me better when I communicate on a more personal level. I know a lot of people that like shooting each other emails back and forth. I mean, I only email if I have to. I don't want to communicate through emails, but we live in a computerized society, and the more that we live in this computerized society, we get further and further away from humanity. And even a lot of the stores that we shop in nowadays, they have scan it yourself. I always scan yourself at Walmart, but when I go to the supermarket, most of the time I go talk to the cashier. I laugh at something stupid, or you brighten someone's day, or they might say something to me to brighten my day. And I like communicating human to human, because I am human and I don't want to live my life boxed inside of somewhere and just communicating on virtual levels. I am such a social butterfly. I don't see that ever being okay with me. Not a person like me. Some people might like it, but me personally, I don't. So, yes, we need to learn how to communicate more person to person to try to really get down to what type of person that we really are. So, challenge and question your beliefs. They can be limiting in some ways, and our beliefs makes us who we really are. So that can be plenty of things such as our religion, things that we were taught to believe as children, coming up as our religion, things that we learned in our homes or in society, in the world, or whatever. And we should challenge our beliefs as often as we possibly can, because when you challenge your beliefs, it really lets you know who you are and what you choose to believe. So I'm not afraid to choose what I choose to believe. I was raised in between two different religions. My mother was always a Christian woman. My father was always an Islamic man. I was always torn in between, and I did not have a choice. I was praising God by two different names, not realizing that there was only one God. I felt so convicted by saying two different names, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong, and I was really confused for a long time until I chose to just to form my own beliefs. And even as far as religion is concerned, the ways of religion has allowed me to want to lean more on my own personal beliefs as opposed to being associated with different religion. I don't think from my personal experience with religions, I don't think any of them are any better than the other. And the people can push you away from the religion. So that's why I choose to worship and praise and stay connected to my higher power in ways that I know that are effective and that work for me, opposed to me catering to any religion. So I choose to challenge my beliefs because I want to be aware of myself and what I truly believe and what works for me and what fulfills me. A lot of things that I was taught inside of my home, inside of my household, what I was taught to believe, I don't believe that stuff. A lot of things I was being lied to and manipulated and coerced and, taught to believe things about myself that was not even true. So I chose, if I had not challenged my beliefs, I would not be who and where I am today. So I'm very comfortable and I feel very fulfilled with my life as I know it today. And I know it's only going to grow as I learn more and as I get better. But, we have to be comfortable with challenging our beliefs because we don't want to limit our lives to just the things that we were taught to believe. That is, if you really want to become aware of yourself, you have to know that it is nothing wrong with learning how to challenge some of the things that you were taught to believe. You may decide to continue to believe in those things, which is perfectly fine. If that is what's comfortable for you, if that is what works for you, then you continue to hold on to your beliefs. But I still encourage you to challenge those beliefs in some ways and don't hold yourself accountable to holding on to those beliefs just because for whatever reason. So, yeah, we have to learn how to challenge our beliefs. So, self-awareness. self-awareness allows us to be comfortable with the fact that we are different. We are not born the same. We are not created the same. And that made me think about self-acceptance. Self-acceptance and self-awareness, of course, are two totally different things. But when we are more aware of ourselves, we are comfortable with the fact that we are different. We don't have to fall in line with each other all the time. We don't have to wear something just because everybody is wearing it right now. These things fade away, the fads and the everybody doing the same thing at the same time, and we want to be socially acceptable and all of those type of things. What is going to happen with you personally when these fads fade away? Then are you going to look for the next fad, or are you going to choose to try to learn how to be more aware of who you really are? So opposed to following a fad, you can do what is comfortable for you. So your past you and your present you are two totally different people. So we have to stop trying to live our life in ways that is our old us. Like, that is not you anymore. Who you were and who you are now is not the same people. So we have to learn how to adjust our ways from the person that we were into the person that we are right now. Be aware of yourself and know that you are not who you used to be. You don't even do the things that you used to do, say the things that you used to say. People know you for being a certain type of person, and they probably always thought that you were going to be the same way. But in our reality, you're then you and you're now you are not the same you. So be more comfortable in accepting in who you are right now and aware of who you are right now. You may have transitioned into something over the years that you probably been hiding from other people, or you don't even want to be comfortable with who and what you have transitioned into your new you, because you want to still put on the persona of who you used to be and who other people are comfortable with you being, when in all reality that is not you anymore. So be comfortable with who you are and make yourself aware of who you are. So where am I? So learn yourself, know yourself, and grow yourself. Grow your self awareness. Know yourself, learn yourself, and grow your self awareness. And that is how I ended this message on self awareness. I am so grateful and glad that God placed it in my heart to kind of give us something to open our eyes and think about. When we think about ourselves and we think about our lives and we think about our health and our hope and our future and our success and our goals, and when we grow into who we are now and who we really want to be, we can comfortably transition into these things and be who we really want to be, because now we know who we are. We know what we want out of life. We know what we like. We know what we love. We know what we expect out of other people. We know how to bring the best out of ourselves so we can get the best out of life. So self-awareness is such an important tool that we should all get in the habit of incorporating in our lives on the regular basis. And it all depends on what you want out of life, what you expect out of life, what you want for yourself, and how you want your future to map out for you. And it's all going to depend on what kind of person you are, you recognizing and reflecting on what type of person that you are. Who do you want to present yourself to the world as? If somebody was to put you in a crowd on stage in front of 1 million people, and they just want to know who you are and what you have to present to this world, and your whole life depended on these very moments, what version of you are you going to present to the world? Who are you? Are you going to present the phony you, the you that you want people to see, the one who always laugh and joke around and always been the class clown? Or are you going to give them 5 seconds of you that is going to impact them for the rest of their lives? I mean, we have to think about things, and even if it never I know that's scary to even think about, like you presenting yourself to the world in such a major way, but think about it on a level of my everyday actions and the things that I do on a regular basis are going to linger on for many years to see. And there's eyes on me, there are people looking at me, I am having an impact on people that I don't even realize and know that I am having this impact on people on the regular basis. I don't know. It just made me think, because I hope to have that moment where someone allows me to present myself to the world. I think about these lessons that I prepare, and I just have a whole book full of so many lessons, and these things are like gold to me. And it's something, not only my books, but even these lessons I prepare, I can leave these things behind to my children, my wisdom and my knowledge and my research, and me preparing these things. It just means a lot to be able to leave something like this with the world, even beyond me. When I leave this world, I will leave a part of me here as well that will hopefully have a major impact on the world for many years to come. And that's on a grand level where I vision myself. But you don't have to vision yourself on a grand level, but just know that you are leaving a legacy in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So what kind of legacy of you are you going to be leaving? And is this going to be the authentic you? Is this going to be the true you? Is this going to be the you that you have took time out to learn, to be aware of? Is this going to be the true you? So self-awareness, self-awareness, self-awareness. Let me just drop my quote on y'all real quick and some of my affirmations. But good morning, I love you. Big shout out to y'all, those of you who are here tuned in to this live broadcast. God bless you. I love you, and thank you so much for your time, your patience, and your presence. And I really hope that something that I have said over the past hour, and I don't know how long, has resonated to your spirit in some kind of way, that you can apply it to your life, that it may be beneficial to you in some way, shape, form, or presence. So your presence are very much appreciated right here, right now, in these moments. I just want to say thank you. So my quote is from Aristotle. Aristotle was a ancient Greek philosopher back in, oh my gosh, I think it was like 884 or something like that. It was a long time ago. But even the philosophy and the work that Aristotle did back in the 800s, it had a major impact on the world as we know it today. So this is the wisdom that Aristotle left. He said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. We want to be able to incorporate wisdom in our lives on the regular basis. So knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And I know this message may not be for everybody, but maybe it is for the people who want to incorporate wisdom within themselves, and who wants to get to know yourself even more. I'm not saying that you don't know yourself right now, but getting to know yourself more, opposed to not really focusing on the person that you have been your entire life. Focus on it in a whole different perspective. There are probably qualities and things within inside of you that you have never even discovered before. Knowing yourself is going to benefit you in so many ways. So this is who this message is for: the people who really want to know who they really are. Maybe this is something that you needed to hear. I don't know. Like maybe this is something that you have been thinking about. Like you had this uneasiness or unnervedness or uncomfortability or unfulfilling emptiness inside of you, and you don't know why or where it came from. Maybe you need to just take more time out with getting to learn who you really are on the regular basis. It might help you in ways that you don't even realize that it is going to help you. So knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So my affirmations are: I want you to look at yourself, speak these things to yourself, and say these things as often as you possibly can. I am accepting myself unconditionally. I am accepting myself unconditionally. I know that is easier said than done, and a lot of people don't want to take the time out to accept themselves unconditionally. I probably don't accept myself unconditionally, but I want to. I want to be able to be a work in progress. I want to be comfortable in my skin and who I am and who God made me out to be. So I want to learn how to accept myself unconditionally more and more on the regular basis. That is going to allow me to know how to be more aware of who I am, my flaws, removing the negative parts of me and bring out the best parts of me so I can live a more fulfilling life. This is what I want for myself. I can't speak for anyone personally and what you want for yourself, but accepting yourself unconditionally will allow you to become closer with who you are. And I want you to say this to yourself as well. I did write this affirmation down. I am enough. You are enough. You are enough who you are. Even if people make it seem like you are not enough, I want you to know that you are enough. You've been enough. You ain't just become enough. I've been enough. Even when people told me that I was not enough, even when people treated me like dirt and talked bad about me and put slander on my name and all those type of things, I've been enough. I always been enough. And I had to realize that with inside of me, I've been enough, and I will continue to be enough. And I will tell myself that I am enough. I didn't just become enough. When I discovered my own value and my own worth, that value and worth was always there. I just had to discover it. I didn't know it was there, but I've been enough, and so are you. And I want you to say that to yourself with conviction. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I want you to say that to yourself, and I want you to believe it in your spirit, because when you say that to yourself, you act that way. You walk through crowds in that way. You don't let anyone diminish your spirit or who you are, and just because how they perceive you or judge you or whatever they put up in their mind of how they think about you. They might try to belittle you or think less of you, or you're not on their level, and put themselves, put you down here and put them up here, whatever. That means nothing to me of where people try to set me up in their minds. I still feel like I am worth more than enough. And I will always feel that way about myself. It took me a long time to get to that place, but I'm staying here, and it's only going to get better from here. So you are enough. So I want you to look yourself in the mirror today. I want you to take a good look at yourself today, and I want you to kind of figure some things out about yourself. I want you to talk to yourself in your mind or out loud. I want you to kind of discover some things within yourself that you need to discover that is going to help you grow over even this next year. I want you to be able, by the end of 2024, I want you to be able to see such a drastic change in yourself, because you have taken time out to discover these things and to do these things for yourself that is necessary for you to do on the regular basis. I've learned how to be more aware of myself, get to know myself more, know my flaws, know my issues, get down to the bottom of these things. I do not want these things to be a roadblock in my life and my destiny and my future and the things that I want for myself, my success, my happiness, my hope, my health, all of those things is by all means necessary. My wealth, I want more for myself. I want more for my children. I don't want things to get in the way of my future. So I want you to evaluate yourself, and I want you to act accordingly. If there's things that you need to pay attention to kind of modify the way that you have been to the way that you want to be, so you can see a difference in your life and in your future as you know it. I want you to take the necessary steps. There may be some things that you need to do to pay pay attention to focus more on you so you can see a change and a difference in elevation and growth and more happiness and peace of mind and all of those things that lie ahead for you. So it may be something that you need to do to pay attention to that is going to help increase all of those positive things and decrease the negative things. So it's worth every effort, it's worth every minute, it's worth every step. Anything that you have to do to help improve yourself, it is worth every step along the way. So that's it. God bless you. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you who support me in any kind of way. I'm really, really grateful for you. I see that y'all are watching, y'all are commenting, y'all are sharing. I have like comments and shares and all of those things on my YouTube channel that I did not even realize that my content was like spreading so far and so fast. And some of my views are like up in the thousands that I did not even realize. I think I am almost at 500,000 views on YouTube. That is so major for me. I'm almost at 800 subscribers. It's kind of been like stagnant for a little while, but that's okay. Still, almost 800 subscribers are a lot of subscribers. I didn't know that I was going to grow so rapidly, and I'm so glad that people are listening to my motivation, viewing my videos, and I hope that it is helping in some kind of way. So God bless you. I love you. Y'all go out here and get over this hump. You hear me? Go out here and hump the hump. Don't let it hump you. You made it this far into this week. We still got some week left to go. I don't care how the first half of your week started. The end of your week is going to be phenomenal, fantastic. Expect good things. Speak good things. Be very purposeful and intentional about your days to come. You want better for yourself. You want greater for yourself. You have the power and control to change those things around, even if they have not been working out for you in your favor before in the past. You have the control to change those things around for yourself right now, like today, now, in these moments. I love y'all. Listen, let's look forward to more motivational videos. Real quick before I go, subscribe to True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. My books are available on sale on Amazon. You can buy a Kindle version, paperback version, that is True Value Knowing Your Worth. Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures. Feed Your Soul, Your Personal Guide to Health and Wellness, and Religiously, and that is taking a closer look at spirituality and religion. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your love. I thank you for everything that you have done to go on this journey with me, and I pray that you will continue to stick around, because it is only going to get better. In the meantime, God bless you, and I love you. Y'all look forward to me coming back, Lord willing. I will be here Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. with some Friday morning motivation. In the meantime, God bless you. You guys continue to stay blessed.